So, we're still in 2018. I had just done some trips, starting to figure out this whole light painting thing. But what I hadn't done yet is build my first light painting tool. That's right. Welcome to part 3 of Finding the Light. I'm Michael, and this is Midnight Canvas. So, after getting back from Colorado, I did a lot of research, deciding, I was trying to solve some problems with focusing my camera at night, and the other problem that I was trying to solve is how to have better lights to use. So, I found this dowel I had laying around, and I ordered myself an LED light. So, got myself a little battery pack, and then painted the dowel black, as you can see, and then put the light on it. This thing's probably 4.5 feet long. Figured out how to attach the battery to the end. I don't have it on there right now, but this thing's mobile. You can take it anywhere. It changes color. Have this nice little remote here with all sorts of different options on it. Fades and jumps and flashes, and all sorts of different colors. And this light stick, well, kind of became what I used for a while. Even though I would create some other stuff, this is the first one. This is what got me really started and really going with light painting. So it's kind of special to me, and hopefully it never dies. So, spent a little time in the lab working on this stuff, and in October, starting to get to Halloween season, getting a little spooky, my buddy John and my buddy Fedge decided to come out with me to the graveyard, and we took a bunch of shots, kind of experiments, because I had the tool for the first time. I spent a lot more time behind the camera than swinging the light this time. However, I was really trying to get good photos, and at this point I was using this Nikon D3100. Not a top-of-the-line camera, definitely still a DSLR, and could do the long exposure stuff really well. I did have a remote so that I could click it wherever I was standing and start the exposure. So that was one of the big tools that I started to use as well in this whole thing. Starting to upgrade my equipment a little bit there and make it easier for me to take photos. Anyway, here's those shots in the graveyard. If you can kind of remember back to kind of where I got my start with the light dancers, or the fire dancers, one of the things that I found through that experience was moving my camera, not just having the light move. And so the day after we went to the graveyard, I was still playing, and I had a new tool to play with, so why not keep going? And so I spent some time, I hung this light stick, hung this baby up on the wall, and it just happened to be that I had some neon colored sticky notes behind it, and created a bunch of shots that were very abstract, and well, here, take a look at them. again, I was zooming in, zooming out, changing some of the focus as the exposure went on, and just kind of going back to that kind of spark that I got when I was watching those fire spinners. I was just trying to replicate some of the camera functions I was doing then. Really love the abstract qualities of those images. So I was finally starting to feel like I was getting into a groove, and about 8 days later, my buddy Fedge came out with me to the Women's Achievement Bridge in Des Moines. It's a pretty cool looking bridge. You'll see it here in the photos in a second, and decided to try to get that in the background, get the city in the background a little bit too, I again spent a little bit more time at first behind the camera, just trying to get settings and all that stuff kind of set. But then, as we continued to kind of move around the place, we found this underground tunnel under the bridge, and once I got the camera set up, we both kind of just went ham and took a bunch of images and kind of like went back and forth, and just kept on playing and experimenting, and so here are those images. Well, as I sum up these last 3 videos, my journey took a long time to figure out what I was doing. At this point, I hadn't seen any other light painting on social media. I hadn't really posted anything. Was just starting to get the itch for this project, and had no real idea what it would become, but I had a vision of what it could do. It'd be a problem if I didn't thank the people who had helped me, Fedge, Jordan, John, my colleague at work, Ryan. They all help keep me going and keep me fed creatively and help me along the way. Most of the time these missions ended up solo, especially as we get to the pandemic era. But without their help and their kind of willingness to come and play, I never would have gotten there. So I'd be remiss if I didn't include a thank you to them and everyone else who's light painted with me along the way. And ending this video series on how I started light painting, I just want to reinforce that sometimes the journey takes time, takes experimentation, takes failure. But every piece of failure is just an opportunity to learn something else or learn something new. And that's the approach that I always try to take. So if there's anything that I can pass on to you, it's that. If you have a vision for something and you can put yourself in a position to fail, you're going to grow through that. So anyway, thank you for watching my videos, and click subscribe, all the stuff, because I got more coming. This was just kind of the beginning of getting going, and that's why I kind of separated this out into a 3-part series, because it was at this point that I had really found some traction, some ground to move on. The rest is kind of uphill from here. But when I say that, there's still a lot of failure, there's still a lot of experimentation going on. Again, thank you for watching the videos, and my next video on light painting and my journey, it's coming soon. See ya.